Now, I used to think I was hot stuff at cold email. I was getting 3% reply rates, I was closing deals, but for the life of me, I could not figure out how people were getting 20% reply rates on their cold emails. And then I discovered the one thing that they were doing that I was not, that was the missing piece. In fact, Alex Hormozi discusses this in his new book, $100 Million Leads, and is by far the most valuable section in the book. And I can't wait to share it with you here today. Now, in this video, I'm going to be revealing the hard truth about getting 20% reply rates on your cold emails. Now, this is not for the lazy. This is not for the cheap. This is going to take work. But if you can do this, I guarantee you're going to get at least 10% reply rates on your cold emails, and it's going to transform your business. Then I'm going to share my screen with you and show you exactly how I do it. But before we do, I'm Lee Gen J. I run a company that does $500,000 per month in revenue. If you want to work with me, click on the link down in the description. You can also join my free coursing community. Now let's get right into it. So here's what you're probably doing right now in your cold emails. You're sending thousands of emails per day to strangers, and you're essentially saying, question, Jay, do you need my service? Here's what I do. Here's why you should trust me. You'll get about 1% reply rates, and out of those 1% who reply, you'll get about 1 meeting. I'm sure that doesn't apply to every single one of you, but that sounds probably about correct. And this is how I used to do it as well. I'm about to show you how to turn this whole thing on its head. So here's how you're probably doing cold email right now. I call this the old way. You send thousands of cold emails every single day to absolute strangers who don't know where you are. And in that cold email, you're trying to pique their curiosity in your subject line. You're saying something like question, name, or you're going to need to read this. And then the body of that email is going to say, hey, name, I'm this person. You should trust me because of this. I do this. Do you need my service? You'll get about 1% replies. And out of those 1% who reply, you'll get about 1 meeting. Does that sound about right to you? We are going to turn this whole thing on its head. We are no longer going to do cold email like this anymore. I'm going to show you the new way that's going to get you 20% reply rates. And my guess is 1% of the people watching here are actually going to follow my instructions, take the time to do what I tell them to do, and achieve greatness in cold email. Now, before I show you how to get 20% reply rates, it's important to note why this method works. Cold email is the same thing as door knocking, is the same thing as cold calling, it's the same thing as cold DMing. Typically, you're reaching out to business owners at companies, they're successful, they're busy, and you're basically taking their time to say, I'm this person, trust me because of this, do you need this? I'm a very hard person to cold email. I don't answer any calls, I don't respond to any emails. If you want to reach someone like me with a cold email and get a good response, you better do something first, something to establish some trust. Same thing with door knocking, same thing with cold calling. If your call to action is, do you need this service? You're going to get ignored 99% of the time. That's hence the 1% reply rates. Maybe it's 2, maybe it's 3. And this is getting more and more true as time goes on. As people like me teach you skills like subject lines that work really well, personalized first lines, and systems to automate those things. The more people that learn, the more this gets saturated, the less it actually works. This method I'm going to teach you will not get saturated because none of you are actually going to do it. Ready to learn what it is? Imagine, instead of knocking on my door and saying, hi, I'm Jay, I'm a cold email expert, I'd love to help you generate leads. Imagine saying instead, hi, I'm Jay, I saw that you have a business that deals in healthcare companies. I would love to book 10 calls on your calendar for free without ever asking for a dime. That is an offer that they cannot say no to. And now that's an offer for free service. I'm not saying you need to do that. Now let's take a look at the new way, using the method that I'm about to teach you and the examples that I'm about to show you. Here is the new way that we're going to be doing cold email. This is what's going to get you to the 20% reply rates. And this is what Alex Hormozi talks about in his book. And this is what's going to take a lot of work, a lot of time, and sometimes money for you actually to create. So the new way, instead of saying, here's who I am, you need my stuff. Are you looking for this right now? Do you want to book a meeting? Those bad asks. Do you want to book a meeting? Reply if you're interested. These things take time out of my day. I don't want these things. Instead, you're going to try this approach. I love what your company is doing. Here's this gift, no catch. The gift is going to depend entirely on the industry and on your capabilities. You need to give some kind of gift, some kind of lead magnet, something that that person wants or needs at this time with no catch, without asking for any money. The bigger that gift is, the more expensive, the more valuable, the more that person wants that gift, the better this strategy is going to work. And there's a lot of examples of gifts I'm about to show you. Examples that do work really well and examples that don't work really well because they're oversaturated and people don't actually care about them. Now, even if you're giving somebody a gift, remember you're still asking them for something in return. You're asking them for their time, and time is very valuable. I will not accept a gift that takes me a lot of time to consume. For example, if you're going to send me an hour-long webinar, I don't want that gift. I don't want to take an hour to watch your free webinar. I don't want to take an hour to read your free PDF or your free notebook. So I'm going to be showing some of these lead magnets that actually work, that people are actually going to respond to, where they will opt in, where they will book a meeting. Now, why does this actually work so well? I'm going to show you right now. Instead of asking for something from them, like a meeting or a reply or to ask questions about their offer or the service, you're just giving them goodwill. You're proving that you can offer them value, you can deliver a service that's actually going to be high quality, so that if they do eventually pay you, they do eventually decide to do business with you, they already know that you're a quality human, they've done something with you before, they've received something from you before, they've watched your content before, they now know, like, and trust you. This is the rapport that is missing from cold email, from door knocking, from cold calling. You don't have any rapport. And in order to build rapport, you need to give them something first. Now, in my case, if I'm trying to sell lead generation services and you're booking a call on my calendar to work with me, I've already built goodwill with you. You know me already. You trust me already because you've seen my videos and you know that I know what I'm talking about. You like me already, hopefully. Maybe some of you don't. But I don't have to do this. I don't have to give a lead magnet to you because you already know, like, and trust me. But for new people, you need to build rapport with them. You don't have a YouTube channel that they've been watching. They don't know who you are. They don't care who you are. The best way to get them to care, get them to know, get them to like you is to give them something. People like receiving gifts. But the big question here, the reason this is so hard is because what gift do you give them? What are some options? What do people actually care about? What can I offer for free that's not going to cost me an arm and a leg, like giving them free service for a month or going and painting their house? I'm going to show you some options right now that we've come up with, and it's on you to get creative for your own audience with your own capabilities. Not everyone's going to be able to give the same amount of gifts monetarily. Not everyone's be able to give the same amount in hours, but you need to figure out the maximum that you can give to the most amount of qualified people that's going to generate interest from your cold emails. Now, again, once you've established goodwill with your client, then you can ask for a meeting because you've already given them something. They know you, they like you, they're going to want to give you something back. That thing that they're giving back to you is their time, is their interest, is the meeting. I promise you, you're not only going to get 20% reply rates on these emails, and all of those people are likely going to opt in for your lead magnet, but almost all of those people will at least give you the time of day for a meeting. And that is a lot more people than you would have gotten with the old way. All right, so when discussing lead magnets, what's actually going to work? What's important to the lead is high value, so something they actually want, something that they would actually pay for, something other people actually pay for. For the example of my PR agency, something that people actually pay for is a news article written and published. That's something that is high value to them. Now, they don't want to spend a ton of time consuming your gift. So if I'm going to offer them a news article, I can't make them write it. That's asking them to spend a lot of time. So instead, I need to be able to write that article as well to decrease the amount of time that it takes them to actually get my lead magnet. So if you're creating a lead magnet for a lead, make sure that it's high value and low time. Now, this isn't necessarily a rule. Another lead magnet that I'm going to be showing you does take them time, but it's such high value that it doesn't matter how much time it takes. In fact, that time is spent for them in a very effective way, and I'm excited to show you that in just a second here. Now, for you, this might sound scary to create a lead magnet that they actually value highly and doesn't take them a lot of time. The most common one that a lot of people starting can actually use is offering free services for a short period of time. This isn't ideal because it takes you a lot of time, not a little bit of time. Time is money, so it's not cheap for you to execute, but could be worth it when you're starting out because you're building goodwill with people, and at first nobody's going to trust you. So it might be worth doing that work, doing some free work for people, offering a free week, a free month of services so that they trust you and eventually want to hire you because you did such a good job. Now, eventually you will reach a point in your company where you have high leverage. Some examples of leverage are you have a big team, you've got VAs under you that can help you execute and save you time. Maybe you have some assets that you've purchased, courses that you've created, communities that you've built, things that you can offer that don't cost you very much money that people actually want. So for example, my free lead generation course that I have is a great lead magnet. People actually want that, but I've created leverage because I've taken a lot of time and expertise to create that course for you. It doesn't take me any additional time to give that to people, and it doesn't cost me any additional money. So it's a great lead magnet. Now that's just an example of a couple, but when you're starting, this can be tough. All right, now I want to share with you some of the most common lead magnets that you can implement very quickly in your own business right now, and I'm going to rank them on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of effectiveness. Now, some of these are going to be very easy to create, and you can start using them right now, and it's probably going to work better than the old approach immediately. However, I encourage you to take the time, take the effort, take the money to build some of these more effective lead magnets that are a little harder to use, harder to build, but work a lot better. So let's dive in and start rating some of these lead magnets. All right, so let's start with white paper. This is essentially an explainer paper about your product or service. People don't really want to read a white paper in most cases. I'm going to rate this one a 2, not one that I would recommend that you use. Webinars. This is very common, and this actually does work in some cases to establish some trust, establish some credibility, but they work a lot better if you are somebody that they already know, like, and trust. The webinar, if it's long and you're asking somebody who's a cold lead to watch an hour-long webinar about something, you better hope that they're interested in that topic, and you better do an awesome job in that webinar. I'm going to put the webinar as a 4. It's solid. It's easy to create. You can get it rolling quickly. You can set up automated webinars so that they run on autopilot every day so that people actually can reserve their spot. There's a lot of cool webinar tools out there. Ebook is a 1. I'd say this is the laziest one that you can possibly offer to somebody. It's even worse than a white paper because no one wants a free PDF anymore. You can go on Fiverr and have an ebook created, or buy somebody's ebook and white label it and brand it for like $50, sometimes even less. So if that's a route that you want to take, go ahead and try the ebook. Templates. So this can be really effective if you're specific. So in my PR agency, one of the lead magnets that we've tried in the past was pretty effective, not as effective as the ones I'm going to be showing you, but still effective. Giving them a template to reach out to a reporter for a guaranteed coverage in their online publication. So if you have a template that they really want, for example, I will give you my proven cold email template that converts a 90% open rate. Chances are you're going to want that template. So template can be a 6, assuming that you do a good job on the template and your targeting is really good. Samples and trials. So if you're an e-commerce company or a software company, this can work really well. Giving somebody a free trial of something or sending them a free sample of something is a very effective lead magnet. I'm going to put 7 on that one. This can also be a trial of a service. So if you are a lead generation agency and you're trying to close a cold prospect, you can say that you're going to do the service for them for 7 or 30 days, absolutely free, so that you can see what I can do for you. This works very, very well. People will likely take you up on that offer. Evaluation and analysis. There's a lot of really cool automated tools that you can use to do like an automated survey or something to see which character you are. You can run automated website analysis. You can have them plug in their social media to do a free social media analysis. This works sometimes. I'll put this right up there with templates. It's got to be targeted and it's got to be a good analysis. But if they want that information, they'll take you up on that. A real world audit. So this one is actually when you're doing this for them live. This one is great and effective because the approach you can take is just reply yes, and I'll send you a Loom video going over some changes that I already see on your website, your social media, that it's going to make a big difference. Typically, they're going to say yes to you sending them a Loom video and explaining some changes. So this one does work really well. I'm also going to give it a 7. Course. Again, the course content has to be awesome. The person that you're targeting must really want that course content. So if I'm targeting med spas owners and my course is about how to book your med spa solid in 30 days, chances are he's going to want that course. It's very relevant. It's an applicable course. So this can work very well as well. I would say 7, but again, they have to really want it. If you're sending that same med spa owner a course that's how to generate leads for your B2B company, it's less relevant. They're going to want it less. They're probably not going to take you up on that deal. So next is case study, sending them a case study. I'm going to put this right down there with white paper. Most of the time, people aren't really going to want to read your case study. They're not going to care. Last but not least, quizzes, polls, surveys. They're very easy to create. Most of the time, they're not going to work very well because they're overplayed. People really don't want to know the results of your quiz or your poll, but it can in some cases if you're very specific. So I'm going to put that down at a 4, right down there with webinar. All right, now I'd love to talk to you about some of the lead magnets that we're using in our business that are converting a 20% reply rate, and almost all of those replies are eventually booking a call with us. And I'm going to show you how I built this lead magnet and how to think about building your own. Now, all of the lead magnets that I just discussed are ones that are frequently used by marketers to get people's opt-in information. And people, when they see those lead magnets, they automatically associate it with lead magnets. They know what's going on. They know what the ask is going to be. They know what's happening, and they don't usually like it. So it doesn't work quite as well as a creative lead magnet. Now, all of the lead magnets that I just showed you are ones that you can pretty easily apply to your business. They're commonly used. They work really well. Feel free to use any of those ideas for your own. But if you want the 20% reply rates, you can scrap all of those. My goal to you, my challenge to you, is to come up with a creative lead magnet, something that's not listed there, something that your target audience actually wants, that's relevant to your business, whatever it is that you offer, whatever service or product, so that you can show them that you can do a really good job, you can give them something that they want, and then you can ask them for the meeting and then for the sale. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm going to share with you 2 lead magnets that we have in our company that we use that are very effective. One of them The first one is offering a free article on a news publication. We own the news publication. The article is written with AI, and the flow is done in a way that looks like we're providing so much value up front. The article's awesome. The publication's awesome. We're offering them options. We're giving them extras. All of this happens behind the scenes with the help of one virtual assistant. Even though it looks like we're putting in a lot of time and a lot of effort in the back end, and it looks like we're paying a lot of money to get the article written and get the article published on the news publication. Little do they know, most of this is done with AI and a virtual assistant, and we own the news publication. Now, this is an example of a lead magnet with high leverage. It's high leverage because we're leveraging AI and we own the news publication. If we didn't own that news publication, we'd be paying $50 to $100 at minimum to get that article published. Now, the second lead magnet that we offer takes us a lot more time, and that is offering them a podcast interview. We have a podcast in our company called Scaling Secrets. It's a great podcast that's produced really well, and one of our top salespeople is also a podcast host. So how that flow goes is we say to our guests, hey, we'd love to interview you on this podcast. We're looking for business owners that have expertise in this space, that have a lot to share. How would you like to come on the podcast, do an interview? We'll create some awesome content. No charge, no strings attached. Almost all of them say yes. And then once they say yes, we put them through a simple opt-in form, gather their information, and then we ask them if they're interested in PR services as well. They'll typically check that box saying yes. We'll do the interview for them on the podcast remotely, takes about 30 minutes. And then every single time they book a call with us, with our sales team, to buy PR services from us. And all of that because they really want to be interviewed on the podcast. Who doesn't? Who doesn't want that content? And it takes us only a little bit of time, 30 minutes, and then the VA processes all the content. And the best part is we're only sending that cold email to business owners with 50 employees or more. So we know they're big dogs. They can afford us. We're not just interviewing any Joe Schmo. And that's the advantage of any of these really creative lead magnets, is you can get hyper picky about who you're targeting because almost all of them are going to take you up on the deal. And as promised, under the hood of our lead magnet, I'm going to be showing you this one, where we will write and publish a news article about you in USA Wire magazine. So it starts with the ask: name, phone number, email, submit information. Then they go to the second page, which is this. And this is a survey built in Go High Level. And first we qualify them. So we don't just want to give this offer to anybody, especially because we're running ads to this as well. We're less specific about who we can send this to. So if they say startup or new business or influencer model artist, they're automatically disqualified and taken to a disqualification page. If they're qualified, they'll be taken to a page where they give us information about themselves and their company, as well as an image. After that, it'll be submitted and they'll be taken automatically to this booking page, and almost all of them will book a call right here. And if they don't book a call here, don't worry, we've still got them in our system. So this is the automation that's built in Go High Level once somebody submits that survey. This webhook sends all of their information to Zapier, which feeds it to ChatGPT, which writes the article, puts it into a Google document, and this confirms with the client, waits for an hour until draft is ready, and then it will send them that finished draft so that they can edit, revise, and then click a link. And then this is what that looks like. Here's your first draft of your news article. It was written with some help with generative AI models. Please be sure to review it completely for accuracy and messaging. View and edit your draft here. Next, when they're ready to publish that article, they can click this trigger link and it will go to our VA team to actually publish that article. If they don't click it in 5 days, it'll happen anyways. Always an option to click and schedule a call with our team. Now, when that link is clicked, they'll be sent a article ready link so that they can make some last minute changes, and then always book a call with some social proof for our company. And then this internal notification notifies our VA that the article is ready. They're going to use this article, submit this form, boom. The client automatically gets notified that the article is live. They get a link, they get information on how to schedule a call with us, they get a free graphic on how to use the logo as social proof. And this is a really great lead magnet because it shows them a lot of value up front. We write the article for them, we publish the article for them, we provide them graphics, we do it all fast and streamlined. Now, not everybody's going to be able to create a lead magnet just like the one we did. Everybody's got a different audience, everyone's got a different target, everyone's got different capabilities, and not everyone knows how to do automation the way that we do. But what I do know that you can do is figure out something that you can offer to leads that they actually want, that they're excited to respond to your cold email for, that they're excited to network with you about, whether it's a podcast interview, a free news article, a free award, something unique that's going to get their attention and get them to open and reply to your cold emails. Now, if you want any of these templates or if you want any of these Go High Level automations, make sure you're in my free course and community. There's a link down in the description there where you can join it. Just answer all the questions. I'll let you right in. And if you want to see more videos about generating leads for your company, click on the videos here. Make sure to subscribe and make sure to like and comment on this video so that you see more of it in your feed. I hope you found some value in this. Peace.